Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Dr. Sayyid Irfanullah, Advocate Corporate Law at Peshawar High Court and a visiting lecturer at Frontier Law College, Peshawar. Today we are discussing the Partnership Act as passed in 2017. So first of all, let's discuss what is a partnership, what are its requirements, and how can we differentiate it from the company. So when we talk about the form of a business organization, can take one of the most prominent ones is a partnership. In India particularly, it is a very popular entity to carry out business. So let us take a look at the most important features of the partnership and also some type of partners. So in Pakistan we have a definite law that covers all aspects and functioning of the partnership. In Indian Partnership Act 1932, that also defines the term partnership as the relation between two or more persons who have agreed to share the profit from a business carried on by either all of them or any of them on behalf of acting of all. So if we diagnose the definition of the partnership, so some of the members or some of the people or the persons are agreed together for a profitable business to run it, and then once they get a profit, so they share that profit. So they jointly run that business, or on behalf of them one of the dedicated person is running that business. So in such a case, two or more, maximum number will differ according to the business being carried. Persons come together as a unit to achieve some common objective, and the profit earned in pursuit of this objective will be shared among themselves. So the entity of collectively called partnership or forum, and all the individual members are the partners. So this group of the people jointly is called a forum or a partnership forum, and every person of this belonging to this forum is called a partner. So let us look at some important features of a partnership. So number one is the formation of the contract. So a partnership firm is not separate legal entity, but according to the act. So if you look at this term, in a company law we discussed that a company is a separate legal entity and it is a legal person. But here you see the partnership firm is not a legal entity, or it is not a legal person. So but according to the act, a firm must be formed by a legal agreement between all the partners. So contract must be entered into the form of a partnership firm. Its business activity must be lawful, as we discussed in the company law, and the motive should be one of the profit. So two people forming an alliance to carry out a charity and or a social work will not constitute a partnership. So if you look at here, they define that they are agreed to share a profit, or their motive is the profit. So if someone is running a charity or a social work and they make a partnership for this, because in a charity and a social work the objective is not the profit, but objective is to help the people. So here you see that a partnership, or the motive for the partnership, is the profit. So a partnership cannot be made for the charity or the social work. Similarly, a partnership can take to carry out illegal work such as smuggling or other unlawful activity is void as well. The second one is the unlimited liability. So in the Companies Act we discuss that there are different types of the companies, and one of that part was the unlimited company. It is not an unlimited company, but the liability here are the unlimited. So in a unique feature, all partners have unlimited liability in the business. The partners are all individually and jointly liable for the firm and the payment of all debts. So this means that even a personal assets of the partners can be liquidated to meet the debt of the firms. So if we look at in the limited companies, the liabilities cannot go to the personal assets, but here the liabilities goes to the personal asset, and to satisfy the debt the partner's personal assets can also be liquidated. So if the money is received from a single partner, he can in turn sue the other partners for their share of the debt as per the contract of the partnership. So if there are a number of partners, so one partner is sharing the money and the other are sharing their services, so he can sue against the other in form of debt against the other partners. But again, all the partners in the firm are equally liable to satisfy the debts. Continued. A partnership cannot carry it out perpetually. The death of the retirement of bankrupt or insolvency or insolvency of a partner will dissolve the partnership. The remaining partner may continue the partnership if they so choose, but a new contract must be drawn up. So if one person becomes insolvent or insane, the partnership will be dissolved. So if the other partner wish to carry out, a new contract will be carried out to continue the business. Also, the partnership of the father cannot be inherited his son. So if all the other partner agrees, he can be added as one of the new partner. But if one of the partner is deceased and his son cannot be inherited into the partnership, but if he wish, the other partners are agreed, so he can become a new partner of that. And in such a situation, the previous partner becomes void because one of the person is deceased, and when the son is joining the partnership, so a new contract will be carried out again. Number of members. As we know that there should be a minimum of 2 members for a partnership, however the maximum number will vary according to the few conditions. The Partnership Act is silent on this issue, but the Companies Act 2000 provides a clarity. For a banking business, the number of partners must not exceed 10. For a business any other maximum number is 20. And if the number of partners increase, it will become illegal entity or the association. And mutual agency. So in a partnership, the business must be carried out by all partners together, or alternatively it can be carried out by any of the partners, one of the several, acting for all of them on behalf of all of them. So this means that every partner is an agent as well as the principal of the partnership. So in fact, if you look at this, in this situation, if some of the issue arise in the partnership, so all the members, all the partners will be equally liable for that business. Means that one person cannot say, oh, I was not knowing about this, that this type of business they are doing and that and that. In the court of law, all of them are equally responsible for this. He represents the other partners in the same case, so he is their agent. But in other circumstances, he is bound by the action of any of the other partner, asking him the principal as well. Thank you. I am Saidar Farmullah, Advocate Corporate Law, Peshawar High Court, and a visiting lecturer at Frontier Law College, Peshawar.